Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show. Fortunately, the battle with Dazkafli Koala just now was not particularly intense, so the roots of the sweet whole fruit tree were not damaged much. Otherwise, it would be bad for this active volcano to erupt because of this battle, and I still want to harvest a few more leeks. My own restaurant also needs the supply of roasted whole pigs, and switching to other gourmet creatures is a matter of cost performance and a matter of quantity. As for the third point, it is a question of grades. The meat of a roasted whole pig with a grade of 1 is the mildest for ordinary people in the real world, and will not have an impact on their bodies. We all know that a single word is not enough to make up for it, and this will happen if Li Xian uses 2 high-level gourmet creatures. Li Xian picked the whole sweet fruit and put it into the super backpack for cutting and storage, and took out a piece of sweet whole fruit pulp the size of an adult male head. The whole body was as clear as a pink crystal. At the same time, the evaporation of the juice makes the whole piece of pulp sparkle with little lights, which looks very beautiful. Looking at the flesh like a work of art, Li Xian still couldn't bear to eat it, but the taste of the sweet whole fruit kept drifting into his nose, causing his mouth to drool. It doesn't matter. Anyway, there is a time ratio of 1 to 24. I believe that the dry sweet whole fruit will grow back soon. Ow! Li Xian took a big bite, and in an instant, his eyes were bent with joy. The jelly-like flesh of the sweet whole fruit seems to condense the luxurious and dazzling sweetness of many fruits, all kinds of fruits. Mango, cantaloupe, grapes, lychees, many kinds of fruits are mixed together, but they will not appear very messy, but give people a harmonious feeling. No wonder it is called the fruit house of the earth. The sweetness of so many fruits can be combined into one, and it is worthy of the name. Li Xian was originally a person who likes to eat fruit, and this sweet whole fruit is very suitable for him. As long as you eat one kind of fruit, you can usually taste the taste of many kinds of fruits. At the same time, the jelly-like flesh does not need to be peeled or spit out the core. It is a perfect feeling to take a bite. After gulps down the sweet whole fruit like a fruit chowder, Li Xian finally satisfied his stomach that has not been able to eat all-you-can-eat fruit recently. Li Xian's whole body was refreshed and felt that his whole body had improved again. He was very familiar with this feeling. After all, it was not the first time. Now that his goal of coming in has been completed, and his food culture has also advanced, Li Xian should leave, and will continue to operate tomorrow. Li Xian had just returned to the real-world rental house when he suddenly stood still as if struck by lightning. It took a few minutes for him to change from a statue to a moving person, and just now he was like this, because the food world sent him some information. Because he has complete control over Hankrilla Island, complete control means that Li Xian also has complete control over the gourmet creatures living in Hankrilla Island. In other words, he can command these gourmet creatures at will. It can even be summoned into the real world as an assistant. Not to mention, the flying Hankrilla bird, the trumpet lion with a sonic power machine, and the Dazkafli koala are all good choices for combat power. Of course, it is definitely not used in this world now, but maybe it will be used after the dimensional restaurant is opened? Name, Li Xian. Chef star, 2-star chef. Gourmet cell, level 5 1%. Food devil, none. Food world, Keira Island, 100%. Recipe, golden egg fried rice, magic mapo tofu, stir-fried Xinjiang vegetables, shredded pork with green peppers, beef stewed with burgundy red wine. Props, a common kitchen knife. Super backpack, roasted whole pig, roasted suckling pig, roasted meat, mushroom marshmallow, inayuri grass, pasta, trumpet lion's mane cake, wild tofu, Coca-Cola sweet cocoa fruit, Hankrilla bird meat, Hankrilla bird feather, sweet whole fruit, Dazkafli koala high-grade cocoa fruit, some sundries. Subsystem, automatic decomposition and processing machine, super backpack, lottery system, chef space, dimension restaurant, unlocked, food world, unlocked. Li Xian looked at the panel where he was slowly getting luxurious, and nodded with satisfaction. After taking a shower, Li Xian fell asleep sweetly. The next day, after the arrival of Tadakoro Megumi, Li Xian told her the good news that yesterday's turnover reached 220,000 yen. After all, she also has credit for this. Tadakoro Megumi was very happy after hearing this, but there is no jealousy. Li Xian needs to share his emotions. Li Xian also doesn't think that Tadakoro Megumi is such a person, nor does he want to test her through observation, but simply wants to share happiness with her. Prove that their efforts are fruitful, not without any feedback. This also makes the two of them full of energy. Let's see if they can maintain this amount today, or even break through again. After exploring Keira Island, Li Xian felt that he had completed another task. Before the food world officially opened, things about it came to an end temporarily. In such a hurry, I went to complete the strategy of Keira Island. In addition to improving the awakening of the food cells as mentioned above, I still want to try to see if the ingredients in it can be applied to new dishes. Not only because of the scarcity of dishes in the store, but also because Li Xian can't always rely on the recipes drawn by the system, so he must study some dishes himself, otherwise the ingredients obtained from the food world are not such a waste. Now there are two kinds of meat, roasted whole pig and Keira bird. Roasted whole pig has found a way to use it, but Keira bird has not yet. You must know that the Keira has the same high-grade Wagyu gravy, and it is also rated as a superb tuna rich in fat. If the meat charmer knew about such high-grade meat, he must have rushed over there long ago, right? With the existence of the god of cooking space, although it is said that there is no recipe in the small master world or the Shokuchiki no Soma world as a support, the efficiency will be greatly reduced, but it does not matter. When Li Xian is no longer short of money in the later stage, wouldn't the chef space be free for him to use? Not bad money. The important thing now is to rest and sleep, and to get up early tomorrow to open the store. After a night of high-quality sleep, Li Xian got up and washed with energy, and after a little exercise, he slept comfortably. Therefore, in Li Xian's eyes, the battle with Doskafli last night could only be regarded as a battle to help sleep, and the Doskafli koala who was defeated and shaved off the high-grade cocoa fruit on his back may be even more crying without tears. With the improvement of Li Xian's gourmet cell level, it may be possible to sleep without rest for a few days in the future. Get up, take out the food from the super backpack as always, and then start your own creative road at the door of the store. During the period, check the ingredients ordered with the ingredients supplier and send them to the kitchen. Not only Tadakoro Megumi's knife skills need to be improved, Li Xian's also needs to be improved. When will I be able to carve a lifelike and extremely powerful ice dragon at will like Master GD? After yesterday's practice, Tadakoro Megumi came a little earlier this morning than yesterday, knowing that there would be knife practice. At least until Tadakoro Megumi is able to cut the trisai to the standard. Yesterday was indeed a lot of work. Although Tadakoro Megumi fell asleep after going back to wash up yesterday, but this morning, I used strong willpower to break free from the seal of the bed. After all, I was only a teenager. Just a girl. But unlike yesterday, Li Xian gave Tadakoro Megumi a cup of hot cocoa before starting his knife practice. Yesterday's work intensity made you tired. Drink a cup of hot cocoa before you start to restore your physical strength a little. Hearing Li Xian's words, Tadakoro Megumi's eyes lit up, and the hot cocoa blew slightly and took a sip. The warm cocoa flows all the way down the throat to the stomach, and I can feel this flow very clearly. Into the stomach, in addition to giving people a feeling of warmth and relaxation, there is also a kind of power that begins to spread to the whole body. Every cell is constantly breathing, constantly absorbing this power, and the originally tired body suddenly becomes full of vitality. Sure enough, it's like that magical pork chop. While thinking about it, Tadakoro Megumi confirmed the speculation in his heart. This magical food that can restore human strength, Tadakoro Megumi has only been seen and tasted in Li Xian's store, and there is no such ingredient in Tatsuki. After drinking this cup of hot cocoa, Tadakoro Megumi followed Li Xian and continued to practice knife skills. It is eaten every day. Today, what Li Xian wants to taste for Tadakoro Megumi is the shredded pork with green peppers that she has been in contact with for the past 2 days. Of course, a dish of shredded pork with green peppers can't fill the stomach to meet the energy needs of the busy noon. Li Xian also paired it with golden egg fried rice and fried qingjiang dishes. The meat and vegetables are well balanced. After the opening in the kitchen god space and yesterday, Li Xian talked about the dish of green pepper shredded pork, and he was very familiar with the dish. Bamboo shoots, pork shreds, and green pepper shreds were stir-fried over high heat, and then the cooked persimmons and other seasonings were put into a paste. Among them, today's lunch is cooked. Crack clap. Tadakoro Megumi chews shredded pork with green peppers in his mouth. This dish contains the crispness of vegetables, neat and refreshing taste, tenderness of meat, moderately soft, but not chewy, crispy, and tender. It is another amazing dish. Dishes. Coupled with the unique idea of adding ripe persimmons, Li Xian also told Tadakoro Megumi this key point when he was just cooking. The natural sweetness of persimmons goes well with vegetables, and can set off the crispness of shredded green peppers even better, which is what makes this shredded green peppers different from other shredded green peppers. After eating and drinking, the next step is to open for business, and a large number of guests are coming. Time passed quietly in the process of constant busyness. Last time I gave Tadakoro Megumi a cup of hot cocoa in the morning, it has become a routine. I have to drink a cup every morning to recover my strength, and it is also slowly improving Tadakoro Megumi. Physical fitness. During this period, what surprised Tadakoro Megumi was the magic 6-in-1 Mappo tofu. Mappo tofu, Tadakoro Megumi, has not been eaten before. In Tatsuki, he specializes in Chinese cuisine, especially Sichuan cuisine. He thinks Sichuan cuisine is the representative of Chinese food. He even thinks Sichuan cuisine is the essence of Chinese food. The two can even be divided equal sign. But this is the first time I have tasted Mappo tofu, and Tadakoro Megumi really felt that his decision to stay in the store to study was right. Coming here not only improves the cooking skills, but also expands the knowledge of cooking and ingredients. The 6 famous dishes in Sichuan cuisine, or the 6 signature dishes, are yuxiang shredded pork, kung pao chicken, husband and wife's lung slices, Mappo tofu, twice-cooked pork, and dongpa elbow. One of the most famous is undoubtedly Mappo tofu, famous for its spicy aroma, color, and 5 flavors. In Li Xian's hands, in addition to the 5 flavors above, this dish has an extra crispy flavor, especially when using the idea of ground soybeans. Sometimes Tadakoro Megumi really wants to know how Li Xian's head grows, and there are always these whimsical ideas that turn corruption into magic. What she didn't know was that Li Xian was researching how to add wild tofu into the magic 6-in-1 Mappo tofu, so that it could add 1 more flavor and become one of 7 flavors, making this dish even better. And although the magic Mappo tofu smelled very strong, after all, the bright red color and irritating smell were whispering like a devil. But eating into the stomach is very gentle, and the wonderful taste makes my hands involuntarily happy. It can be said that it is the perfect combination of tofu and meat. Li Xian's restaurant has been officially open for a week. Although this week was busy, both Li Xian and Tadakoro Megumi had a very fulfilling life. During this period, they also got a lot of improvement. Since the previous harvest has been fully digested, this week's turnover is enough for Li Xian to come to a 10 consecutive lottery, and there are still a lot of leftovers to maintain his daily life, so he must come to a 10 consecutive. Taking a bath and burning incense means taking a bath and then lighting the mosquito coils, and then rubbing the hands back and forth with hand sanitizer. Li Xian felt that it was enough, so he lay on the bed and said, "System, give me a 10 consecutive lottery draw." As soon as Li Xian's voice fell, 1 million yen miraculously disappeared from his account. Of course, it didn't disappear for no reason. In the eyes of outsiders, it was through normal channels. Congratulations to the host for winning 10 consecutive lucky draws. Counterfeit crispy barbecue recipe, 10 yen money. Yunlong fried shrimp recipe, crispy mushrooms, 1 yen money. Silky chicken stewed rice recipe, bull demon knife, 10 money. Soda watermelon, normal a set of cutlery. Looking at the 10 consecutive lottery prizes listed in the system, Li Xian thinks this time is at least a little better than the last time. Although there are only 3 recipes, at least there is no thank you for your patronage last time, but it doesn't seem to be much better. 10 yen, 1 yen, 10 yen, I can only say thank you for the consolation prize of the system, and comfort my little heart that is easily hurt. However, the 3 recipes obtained are also very good, and they can all be added to the menu of the restaurant. Among them, the imitation crispy barbecue is still a dish of Yukihira Soma. Compared with the beef stewed in burgundy red wine obtained last time, this imitation crispy barbecue is more suitable for Li Xian's appetite. It should be said that the taste of this dish is appetizing. The remaining braised rice with silky chicken and deep-fried prawns with cloud dragons are still the dishes of our lighting engineer, Mr. Dongjia. Braised rice with silky chicken is a blockbuster dish that Xiao immediately used during his travels. And Yunlong fried shrimp was the dish he came up with when he was competing with Li Yan on behalf of his teacher, and the skills contained in it were enough for Li Xian to learn for a while. Ordinary tableware can be completely ignored, but the Niu demon knife is the kitchen knife used by Shirquan masters in the world of small masters. The reason why it is called this name is that it can chop off the hard head of a bull with one knife. In the original work, Master Shirquan used it to dissect the cosmic big xiaomai of the young master. Li Xian is naturally very happy to get the bull demon knife. He has always wanted a high-quality knife in his heart. Isn't this coming? Whether it is used for fighting in the food world or cooking in reality, it is a good choice. Of course, the ultimate destination of the Niu demon knife is 9 times out of 10 or used in the food world, until the food world is unlocked. The remaining crunchy mushrooms and soda watermelon are unique ingredients in the food world. Crispy mushrooms have a catch level of 1 or lower. They are different from ordinary edible mushrooms. Their appearance is very bright. The caps are blue with red spots, and the rhizomes are purple. They look like poisonous mushrooms, but they break layer by layer. It feels like a good snack. But soda watermelon is different from a handful of watermelon. Ordinary watermelon eats the bright red pulp or squeezes it into sweet watermelon juice, while soda watermelon will overflow colorful and sweet super soda water from the pulp. How to eat and taste are completely different. When Tadakoro Megumi came to the store the next day, he suddenly found that a new drink was added to the menu of the store. Watermelon soda, 500 yen. Brother Li Xian, is this your new drink? Tadakoro Megumi couldn't help but ask curiously. In fact, customers who came to the store recently are also responding to this problem with Li Xian. One is that there are too few dishes, and the second is that there is nothing to drink in the store. Generally, there are drinks in restaurants. Nothing. Li Xian's statement is that he will introduce it later, but it will not be an ordinary drink, but unique in the store, just like other recipes. As for the rich dishes, I will definitely reply in a unified way next time. Yes, how's it going, would you like a drink? Tadakoro Megumi nodded in anticipation, then followed Li Xian into the kitchen like a little follower. Take the soda watermelon out of the refrigerator and put it into the beverage machine specially customized for the system. It didn't take long for 2 cups of colorful and sweet watermelon soda to be delivered from the lower end of the machine. Take out another plate and put some crunchy mushrooms on it and hand it to Tadakoro Megumi. Let's go, let's taste these 2 new ingredients today. Brother Li Xian, I didn't expect this watermelon soda to be made from watermelon juice. I thought it was a normal soda, but it was watermelon flavored. I didn't expect it to be really like the watermelon soda written on the menu. Water. Sit down and talk, looked at Tadakoro Megumi, whose face was flushed with excitement. After getting along this week, Tadakoro Megumi and Li Xian became more and more familiar with each other. At the same time, because of frequent contact with other guests, their personality became more cheerful. In daily practice, Li Xian also praised Tadakoro Megumi when he performed well. Of course, it was not a brainless praise. He also criticized severely when it was time to criticize, but it was much better than before. In Tatsuki, it is normal to do well, because here is Tatsuki, there is no compliment to you, unless it is particularly excellent. But if you don't do it well, you will definitely be criticized and blamed, and it will be extremely severe. Therefore, Although Li Xian also criticized Tadakoro Megumi during this time, he praised him more, and made this shy girl become more confident little by little. At least compared with a week ago, there have been a lot of changes. This is a newly researched watermelon variety called soda watermelon, which can squeeze colorful and refreshing soda water from the pulp. Tadakoro Megumi took a sip from the cup. It was sweet, and the feeling of coolness after a little ice and the feeling of carbon dioxide bubbles bursting in the mouth made people feel refreshed all of a sudden. What is this? Tadakoro Megumi looked at the pot of crunchy mushrooms that he had just brought out. It looked like a mushroom, but with a bright appearance. There were red spots and purple rhizomes on the blue umbrella cover. If it was a mushroom, it must be highly poisonous. Mushroom, right? This is the same as soda watermelon. It is also a new variety. It is made of crunchy mushrooms. Although it is not used for the simple appearance of ordinary mushrooms, it does not contain any toxins. Eat it with confidence, and its biggest difference is the crispy taste, which breaks layer by layer in one bite. Is a very suitable ingredient to use as a snack after a meal. Tadakoro Megumi twisted a crunchy mushroom, and the cracking sound of eating it was continuously transmitted to the ear and brain through the teeth. A watermelon soda paired with crunchy mushrooms is indeed a great time killer, and it doesn't feel monotonous when paired together. However, the relaxation time was short-lived. After sitting for a while with Li Xian, Tadakoro Megumi went into the kitchen to practice. After a week of knife training, Tadakoro Megumi has reached the standard on the 3 shredded green pepper shredded pork. From today onwards, she will enter the stage of cooking and stir-frying. As for the dish of beef stew in burgundy red wine, Li Xian neither let Tadakoro Megumi taste nor taught her. The reason is that the time has not yet come. Li Xian will teach her when the school starts soon. It may not be so impressive if it is too early. As for Li Xian, this week is of course not just busy with business to make money without other gains. Just look at his current panel. Name, Li Xian, Chef Star, 3-star chef. Gourmet Cell, level 591%. Food Devil, none. Food World, Keira Island, 100%. Recipes, golden egg fried rice, magic mapo tofu, fried Xinjiang vegetables, shredded pork with green peppers, burgundy beef stew, imitation crispy barbecue, yunlong fried shrimp, silky chicken stewed rice, item, bull demon knife. Super backpack, roasted whole pig, roasted suckling pig, roasted meat, mushroom marshmallow, inayuri grass, pasta, trumpet lion's mane cake, wild tofu, Coca-Cola sweet cocoa fruit, Hankrilla bird meat, Hankrilla bird feather, sweet whole fruit, Dazkafli koala premium cocoa fruit, soda watermelon, crispy mushrooms, some sundries. The chef star rating has increased by 1 star, and the level of food cell awakening has also increased from 1% at level 5 to 91% at level 5, an increase of 90%, which is not far from level 6. And when the fake crispy roasted meat, silky chicken stewed rice, and yunlong fried shrimp are learned to reach the level of luminous cooking, they should also be able to push the gourmet cell to level 7, and then it will be even closer to level 10. Manager Xian, your store has finally launched a drink? The change in the menu in the store was finally discovered, because the menu in the Li Xian store has not changed for a long time, and the customers who come here are basically regular customers, so they just placed the order without reading the menu. Therefore, no one found out for a whole noon time. After all, in such a hurry at noon, you have to rush to eat. So basically no one looked at the menu, which created such an embarrassing situation. For this reason, Li Xian was also ridiculed by Tadakoro Megumi, who made him perfunctory all the time. Although he promised to introduce new dishes and drinks, he never did it. After a whole week, everyone got used to it. Anyway, the store has just opened, and it's still a long time. As Li Xian said, everything in this store must be high-quality goods. Of course, Li Xian's other dishes taste good, and people can't get tired of eating it when it just opened, and the prices won't come every day, otherwise, many customers would have been lost. Yes, not only drinks, but also new dishes are available. If there is no accident, we will be able to taste them at the latest next week. This time, there are 3 new dishes. Hearing Li Xian's words, the whole store boiled. They were all people who were captured by Li Xian's craftsmanship. Originally there were only 4 dishes in the store, but this time, 3 dishes and a drink were added directly. It was a double chef ecstasy. Bring me a watermelon soda. Me too. I want this table. Taste what the boutique manager Xian said is what it tastes like. As soon as they are happy and curious, everyone can't help but place orders and try Li Xian's new watermelon soda today. Many people like to drink something when they eat. Li Xian's store has never had it, whether it's drinks or soup, but Li Xian didn't refuse them to bring their own. However, there is a deep gap between ordinary drinks or drinks and Li Xian's cuisine, and there is no way to achieve the effect of complementing each other. In contrast, ordinary drinks feel unpleasant to drink. Therefore, after trying it, everyone stopped bringing drinks, at most ordinary mineral water. Now that there is something to drink, not everyone wants to try it. The unique taste of the watermelon soda is naturally satisfying to everyone. Sure enough, Li Xian is not lying to them. After all, some people still feel that Li Xian's rhetoric is a shirk. After all, he is busy every day, and looking at the hot business in the store, he knows that he has no time to study new dishes and find new delicacies. In the end, he found it silently, so I'm looking forward to the remaining 3 dishes, that Li Xian said. Are there 3 more dishes that look like magic mapo tofu? Tadakoro Megumi looked at Li Xian's busy figure in the kitchen. In the afternoon, Li Xian didn't tell her about the 3 dishes of yunlong fried shrimp. Li Xian took the initiative to say it when the atmosphere was good in the evening. He originally planned to study it. I'll talk about it later. Tadakoro Megumi and Li Xian spend most of the time together these days, so they naturally know that Li Xian is not researching new dishes during the time they are together. Then Li Xian only found time to come after the store closed in the evening. Thinking of this place, Tadakoro Megumi felt admiration. He was so busy and hardworking every day. Although I have found Li Xian's amazing physique after spending a long time together, my mind is tired even if my body can bear it. Besides, to be honest, with Li Xian's current age, there is no need to be so anxious. In Tadakoro Megumi's view, Li Xian, who already has 4 luminous dishes, will be able to eat for a lifetime even if there are no new products to be launched in the future. Look at some so-called singers who only have 1 song. Don't they rely on that song for a lifetime and make a lot of money? Li Xian didn't know that Tadakoro Megumi had misunderstood this, and it was not like studying hard at night. It was just a lottery draw through the lottery system. Of course, you still need to practice hard. God of Cooking is waiting for you to come. Li Xian intends to master these 3 dishes within 2 days. It was another busy night, and even because of the appearance of watermelon soda, the business was even more popular. Some old customers who had not come to the store even came to the store when they heard that the store had a new drink. Fortunately, Li Xian has also been giving Tadakoro Megumi food from the world of gourmet food recently, and her physical fitness has improved subtly, otherwise she really can't hold on. Of course, Tadakoro Megumi himself has not found out about this. After all, the improvement is not large, and every day is so fulfilling and tiring, so there is still time to think about these things. But when she finds out, she will definitely feel very happy. After all, who doesn't like a good physical fitness? What's more, good physical fitness can also be said to be one of the qualities a chef should have, not to mention poor physical fitness in the back dormitory, but it is easy to be eliminated. After all, the number of guests received in another level is quite large. Also for a limited time, if you're enjoying my content, please consider donating a coffee. Or checking out my shirts on TeePublic. The leftover ingredients in the kitchen were boiled with water, and the dishes that Tadakoro Megumi had failed to practice were washed with hot water, and then a little salt was added to stir and season. Of course, Li Xian did not eat it himself. Carrying 2 large basins to the door of the backyard, when the door opened, they saw a pair of green or other colored eyes in the dark night sky, and ordinary people must be startled. But who is Li Xian? Naturally he won't be scared, and it's not the first time. He put down the 2 rectangular iron basins he bought specially. Meow, Wan. Seeing Li Xian come out, cat meowing and dog meowing came and went one after another, like a symphony, but it seemed like an appointment, not loud and not annoying. Let's take a look at the pet waterer on the side. This is an oversized custom made by Li Xian and the 2 iron basins above. The water inside is completely empty. Li Xian filled the 2 half-person height drinking fountains with water and took them out. He then added sweet and whole fruit juice as usual, and put them back in place. At this time, there were all kinds of kittens and puppies beside the bowl, but none of them started to eat. Eat, don't wait for me to tell you. As if they could understand Li Xian's words, the cats and dogs began to eat only when they got Li Xian's consent like children. Seeing that there were no more cats and dogs in front of him, Li Xian knew that the dozens of stray cats and dogs in front of him belonged to the neighborhood. This week, because the irregular ingredients that Tadakoro Megumi practiced before will definitely not be used, it would be too wasteful to throw them away, so Li Xian boiled them and fed them to these poor stray cats and dogs. I was very vigilant at first, but then slowly dispelled, and then more and more. The pots prepared at the beginning were not enough and had to be specially customized. But it's nothing. Even if there are not enough ingredients for practice, Li Xian will cook the unused ones for them to eat. It's just some ingredients, and he is not short of money now. When I was in my previous life, I really wanted to raise cats and dogs, but the economic conditions did not allow it and I ran out of time, so I gave up the idea. He came to this world to open a restaurant by himself, which is even more difficult to support, but Li Xian is also very happy to be able to help these poor little guys. So after getting into the habit of knowing that Li Xian comes back to feed them every night, they'll be waiting here when it's time. There is a certain distance between the door of the backyard and the restaurant in front, and I am not afraid that these little guys will scare the guests or make trouble. And Li Xian found that maybe because he sometimes used food from the food world to feed them, they are now more psychic than before. It seems that he can understand his own words, and then he has rules and so on, so Li Xian will add sweet and whole fruit juice to the drinking fountain. I also put pasta grass and roast suckling pig meat before, and the weight is naturally not too much, and it comes gradually. In the beginning, cats and dogs were all dirty. Li Xian, who was a bit clean, naturally didn't like it. He spent a lot of effort to clean them one by one. And Li Xian's power suppression, maybe I don't know how many scratches it will take. Maybe they also know that they don't like them being dirty, so the little guys started to pay attention to the cleaning of their hair. Although it is impossible to wash them every day, it is much better than before. And after this period of feeding by Li Xian, they are no longer as skinny and dull as they used to be. They now look like ordinary pets fed at home. Li Xian did it in just 1 week. At the same time, the wildness gradually faded. Before, they were fighting for survival. Now Li Xian is pressing them, and they have become obedient. After watching the cats and dogs clean up their food, Li Xian took the bowl back to wash it, came out and refilled the drinking fountain, and returned to the store. These kittens and puppies are not running around, quietly crawling down and resting around here, and even snuggling with each other. There is still a hint of coolness in the spring night. It's not surprising to see Li Xian through the window of the cats and dogs. It's been like this for the past 2 days. At first, Li Xian was afraid that the quarrel between them would affect the next-door grandma. Later, I found out that they were quiet and didn't say much. Of course, Li Xian also told Granny Shirkai about this. It's guilt. She is naturally very happy about Li Xian's behavior, and sometimes she will take out some food and put it in the back. After all, these cats and dogs have always been a headache for everyone, and they also affect the image of the food street, but it is not easy to use violence against them. After all, it was humans who were sorry for them. They were kept as pets at first, but finally abandoned them for various reasons. After Li Xian started feeding them, they became more hygienic and cute, and they looked adorable. Maybe they will become a unique landscape in the food street in the future. For this reason, Granny Shirkai also plans to report to the street committee and give Li Xian a certificate of merit and subsidies, which makes Li Xian a little dumbfounded. To make. Let's talk about this later. Li Xian is ready to enter the kitchen god space after washing up. Familiar venues, familiar scenes, and familiar layouts, Li Xian looked at the dazzling array of ingredients and transformed himself into a chef's uniform to wear. Let's start. Li Xian rolled up his sleeves and started to get busy. The 3 dishes Li Xian harvested this time are still in the usual order. Braised rice with silky chicken is undoubtedly the easiest of the 3 dishes, followed by imitation crispy roasted meat. Lastly is the yunlong fried shrimp. This dish is mainly about the silky chicken. As long as the silky chicken is selected and the ingredients in the recipe are matched, the rest is left to time. Li Xian first selected the slaughtered fresh silky chicken from the ingredients, cleaned it and put it aside, and then washed the top-quality rice, the medicinal materials to be used, and the ginger to remove the fishy smell. Stuff the rice in the belly of the silky, then put the silky, herbs, and wine into the casserole, and then slowly simmer, leaving everything to the time. With a vegetable basket in hand, Li Xian used to pick the ingredients to make the dish of imitation crispy bulgogi. Potatoes, king oyster mushrooms, white onion, sliced, bacon, rosemary. Because the silky chicken braised rice still takes a long time, it takes a long time to simmer to fully boil the deliciousness of the silky chicken. After Li Xian set the alarm clock, he ignored it for the time being. Start working on both ends at the same time, don't waste time. Li Xian took the cleaned potato in his hand, and at this time showed the speed of being single for many years. After the potato was rotated in Li Xian's hand, it turned white and tender, and the potato skin was already spinning and jumping. Left it in. Put the peeled potatoes into the water temporarily to prevent the potatoes from oxidizing and turning black in contact with the air. Li Xian knew that he would not be able to do it directly, so he prepared a few more potatoes. Cut the peeled potatoes into pieces and steam them in a steamer. Steaming potatoes also takes time. At this time, you can prepare the side dishes. Dice the king oyster mushrooms and onion, then add butter in a small wok and fry for a while. Originally, Yukihira soma was added directly, but Li Xian felt that it would be more fragrant to fry it a little. Season the stir-fry with salt and freshly ground coarse black pepper, so that the whole dish has a flavor, rather than just the outside that touches the sauce. At this time, the potatoes are also steamed to the point where they can be easily pierced with chopsticks. At this time, the surface of the steamed potatoes is still stained with many small water droplets. Drain them, otherwise the potatoes will not be easily formed if the water is too much. Mix the fried diced king oyster mushrooms, diced onions and mashed potatoes with butter aroma, then shape into an oval shape and wrap it with bacon slices. Li Xian looked at it, and it seems that it can be formed without tying it with a rope. The rosemary attached to the top will not fall off, so it is simply not tied. It would be better if it could save a step. If the failure does not take shape, then recover later. Anyway, I now have the opportunity to tolerate mistakes, and Yukihira soma can only succeed once. Put the wrapped mashed potatoes into the oven to bake. Li Xian took a look at this time, whether it is silky chicken braised rice or bacon mashed potatoes, it still takes time, and now it is too fast to make a sauce for imitating crispy barbecued meat. It was cold for a while, so I went to deal with the ingredients for the yunlong fried shrimp. In the third-line operation, Li Xian couldn't help but praise himself, and the donkeys in the production team did not dare to do so. Yunlong fried shrimp, Li Xian had a question when he saw it before: what is the stone fruit coat used in it? And he has never heard of stone fruit. I also checked it. The stone fruit encyclopedia said that it is a type of fruit, which probably means that any fruit containing a stone can become a stone fruit. So Li Xian has always wondered what a stone fruit is, and he didn't know it until he crossed into this world. After I got the recipe for yunlong fried shrimp this time, I finally understood that the stone fruit is not a specific kind of fruit, but a combination of walnuts and nuts. It was a speechless incident. It turned out that the problem that had plagued me for many years turned out to be like this, and I didn't think about it at all. After all, the droop coat that can be put into a frying pan and become crispy after being deep fried is not the usual fruit, but a mixture of walnuts and nuts, so it is natural. Li Xian has just processed the lobster, deshelled it, removed the prawn line for urination, and crushed the stone fruit. The alarm clock over there rang to remind him that the bacon mashed potatoes will be ready in a few minutes, and now they are cooked. The sauce is just right. It will be too late to cook the sauce until the roasting is done. After the butter is melted, add soy sauce, red wine, mirin and white sugar, boil over high heat, add starch water, thicken and then leave the heat, add salt to taste to make the sauce. At this time, the bacon mashed potatoes are also baked, pour the prepared sauce on the bacon, and then decorate with watercress. This is not bacon mashed potatoes, but a fake crispy barbecue. More than 10 hours have passed in the chef's space, but the real world has not even arrived for an hour. Li Xian is sitting at the dining table, looking at the fake crispy grilled meat, silky chicken stewed rice, and yunlong fried shrimp placed in front of him. The unique luminous effect and tangy aroma made Li Xian's saliva quickly in his mouth. It's not easy. It took Li Xian more than 10 hours to complete these 3 dishes to the level of luminous cuisine. Essence-packed rice from the belly of silky chicken, imitation crispy grilled meat and potatoes fragrant, and deep-fried prawns filled with cloud dragons. Li Xian first scooped a mouthful of braised silky chicken and put it into his mouth. The crystal-clear rice grains were distinct, and the steam was constantly rising and transpiring, bringing the aroma of the silky chicken that had been boiled for a long time to Li Xian. Inside the nose. Rice has that solemn and gorgeous sweetness, swept in like a turbulent wave, but it is very colorful and attractive. The rich taste, the elegant and sweet unique flavor, and the curative effect of nourishing qi. Li Xian originally planned to try one dish at a time, but he couldn't hold back. He couldn't help but frantically scooped up several tablespoons to fill his mouth before stopping. Satisfy. Li Xian, whose staple food in his previous life has always been rice, is naturally insatiable and has no resistance to rice. Especially when the rice is stuffed in the belly of the silky chicken and simmered over a low heat, and the whole essence of the silky chicken is penetrated little by little, every bite feels like a new experience. Li Xian then breaks down the counterfeit crispy roast meat into small pieces, ensuring that each piece is composed of the outermost bacon and the inner mashed potato. This is the correct way to eat this dish. If you eat it separately, it will not be so delicious, and it will also lose the soul of this dish. The dish is called fake crispy roast, which means it should be like a crispy roast, with a crispy exterior and a juicy interior. Li Xian put the mashed potatoes tightly wrapped in bacon into his mouth, and every time he chewed, the mellow gravy of the well-baked bacon spread in his mouth. The difference between the skin made with bacon and the normal use of pork belly to make crispy barbecue is that the skin made of bacon also has a special smoky flavor. And after enjoying the bacon-baked crust, the tender and juicy mashed potatoes on the inside are even more satisfying. Onions that add sweetness, king oyster mushrooms, and mashed potatoes that soak up the fat from the bacon as they cook make it feel better than real meat. And because it is not real pork for cooking, no matter how much you eat, there will be no greasy disgust, and low fat will not make people consuming too much fat. Therefore, Li Xian's current gluttonous mouth is like a bottomless pit to eliminate the counterfeit crispy barbecue on the table, and there is absolutely no greasy feeling and disgust that eat too much fat. In the end, it was the yunlong fried shrimp with its claws that were fried to the point of being red. The yunlong fried shrimp was neatly lined up. Not to mention, it was very imposing. Li Xian didn't use chopsticks, he started directly. The bright red lobster head and golden stone fruit coat. I have to say, first of all, the color of yunlong fried shrimp is eye-catching. Crack! Li Xian bit down and ruined the overall beauty of the yunlong fried shrimp. After biting through the stone fruit coat, the yunlong fried shrimp unexpectedly splattered with sauce instead of being crispy as expected. After all, the shrimp meat that has been deep-fried at high temperature, even if it is wrapped with a stone fruit coat, will not be fried very dry, but it will not be as tender and juicy as it is now. This yunlong fried shrimp has the unique aroma of stone fruits, crispy after frying, smooth sauce, sweet shrimp meat, and cube bomb of shrimp meat. Just like a treasure, there are different surprises waiting for you to dig little by little, and you can have a new experience with every bite. With the increase in the awakening of food cells, Li Xian's current appetite is also increasing day by day, so Li Xian has fully considered this problem when he was cooking. Li Xian will never treat himself badly when it comes to treating his stomach. After working hard for so long to perfect these 3 dishes, Li Xian slowed down the speed of eating and began to taste it little by little. This is also rewarding himself and recognizing the fruits of his labor. Even later, Li Xian felt that it was not enough and made some more, so he left the kitchen god space. I don't know how much the 3 radiant dishes tonight have improved the awakening of my gourmet cells. Li Xian thought and opened his own properties panel. Name, Li Xian. Chef star, 3-star chef. Gourmet cell, level 6 50%. Food devil, none. Food world, Keira Island, 100%. Recipes, golden egg fried rice, magic mapo tofu, fried Xinjiang vegetables, shredded pork with green peppers, burgundy beef stew, imitation crispy barbecue, yunlong fried shrimp, silky chicken stewed rice, item, bull demon knife. Super backpack, roasted whole pig, roasted suckling pig, roasted meat, mushroom marshmallow, inayuri grass, pasta, trumpet lion's mane cake, wild tofu, cocola sweet cocoa fruit, hankrilla bird meat, hankrilla bird feather, sweet whole fruit, Doskafli koala premium cocoa fruit, soda watermelon, crispy mushrooms, some sundries. Not only did he break through to level 6, but he also directly completed half of the level 6 process. Li Xian looked at the data on the panel with satisfaction. He was not far from his real rise. After reaching level 10, whether it was the unlocking of the food world, the awakening of his own food cells, and the magical dimensional restaurants, all kinds of guests. That's when it really takes off. The next day, Li Xian was sitting at the door of the store, wondering if he should add the 3 dishes from yesterday to the menu today. The watermelon soda was just released yesterday. Is it too fast to release these 3 dishes today? After all, it's already busy enough now, and adding 3 new dishes, wouldn't it be too busy? But thinking about the shabby 4 dishes in the store now, and the fact that I haven't really achieved financial freedom yet, and I randomly conduct lottery draws, I still have to work hard to make money, so let's add it. But before that, let's ask Tadakoro Megumi's opinion. After all, I don't know if she will be able to hold on when she is busy, and Li Xian also thinks it's time to recruit people. Have you finished the 3 dishes I mentioned yesterday? Li Xian, you are amazing. Looking at Tadakoro Megumi's big eyes full of admiration, Li Xian wanted to say, son, your focus doesn't seem right? But in this way, the dishes have become more numerous, and you have become busier, haven't you? Hearing Li Xian's words, Tadakoro Megumi couldn't help laughing, which made Li Xian a little confused. Is there anything funny about what he just said? Brother Li Xian, have you forgotten that even if the menu increases, I will not increase the workload on my side? Don't forget that the space, tables, and chairs in the store are fixed, and now they have reached their limit. With the addition of 3 new dishes, it's you who are in the kitchen who have more workload. The person you should ask the question just now is not me, it should be yourself. Looking at Tadakoro Megumi, who was smiling so happily, Li Xian patted his head and asked, why didn't his own mind turn around? Indeed, the number of people in the restaurant has reached its limit now, so no matter how much Li Xian's side adds to the menu, it's just a little more work when ordering. The main thing is Li Xian. As for Li Xian, will there be any problems in this regard? Of course not. With his current situation, it's not a problem at all. Although he doesn't move mountains and seas like in the fantasy world, he can still complete such daily work. Since there is no problem, let's add 3 dishes to the menu now. As soon as he thought of it, he did it immediately. Li Xian got up and operated it. The menu hanging on the wall finally looked a lot better. It was not like before that he could count with 1 hand. Now he needs at least 2 hands. Looking at the menu on the wall with a sense of accomplishment, Li Xian believes that this is just the beginning. Later, the wall is sure to be full of recipes, and it can't even be written down. This is really a happy trouble. braised rice with silky chicken, fake crispy roasted meat, and fried shrimp with cloud dragon. Tadakoro Megumi read out the 3 new dishes on the menu. Yesterday, Li Xian mentioned 3 new dishes, but there is no information about these 3 dishes, so Tadakoro Megumi knew it for the first time, and was very curious about them. The taste, I want to eat it. Li Xian watched Tadakoro Megumi staring at the 3 dishes on the menu. He swallowed his saliva involuntarily, and said with some humor, "Okay, you don't have to watch it there. As usual, you can still taste a new dish today. The power is left to you, choose." Hearing Li Xian's words, Tadakoro Megumi pointed at one of them without hesitation and said, "Today I want to taste the fake crispy grilled meat." Li Xian looked at Tadakoro Megumi with some surprise. He originally thought that Tadakoro Megumi would choose the dish of yunlong fried shrimp. After all, it sounded different, and this was the first time seafood appeared in Li Xian's menu. As for why neither Li Xian nor Tadakoro Megumi thought about braised rice with silky chicken, it is natural that he knew how to operate this dish as soon as he heard it, and there were not too many surprises. Of course, Li Xian's products are naturally delicious. It's beautiful, but it's not that there is no such opportunity later. Why did you choose this dish? I have eaten a lot of crispy barbecued meat, but I have never eaten a fake crispy barbecued meat. Li Xian, you put this dish out, indicating that it must have a different taste, or it is comparable to the taste of crispy barbecued meat. So I'm very curious. I want to know how. Li Xian, brother, how do you cook, what kind of ingredients are used, and what method is used to make this dish? Tadakoro Megumi's eyes seemed to glow as he said these words, and sure enough, a good cook, a motivated cook, has an endless thirst for knowledge. It doesn't necessarily say that Tadakoro Megumi must be an excellent chef in the future, but her quality alone can help her a lot. Okay, let's try this dish today, but keep in touch before that. After yesterday's practice, you will be close to reaching the standard. The two walked into the kitchen one after the other. Regarding Tadakoro Megumi, Li Xian did not require her to be able to complete the dishes to the level of luminous cooking. Not to say that Tadakoro Megumi was impossible and could not reach that level. As long as it takes enough time, of course it is possible, but it is not necessary for the current Tadakoro Megumi. What she should do at this stage is to frantically absorb all kinds of knowledge, like a sponge, to enrich herself. It's a little bit later in the line to study the must-kill cooking. This one can also be studied slowly by himself. Now Li Xian is teaching her as much as possible. Instead of directly letting her start to specialize in a certain aspect, Tadakoro Megumi is still small, so there is no need to rush. Of course, since adding 3 dishes to the menu was a temporary decision, Li Xian naturally didn't have the ingredients for these 3 dishes when he placed the order last night. Fortunately, the other party hadn't delivered the delivery yet, so Li Xian made a phone call and arranged it properly. That is, in this world where food comes first. If it was in the world before Li Xian, not to mention the other big lobsters, such general delivery merchants would not have them, or they would need to be booked several days in advance. In this world, the ingredients are still very complete, and Li Xian has placed a lot of orders in their house recently, so such a big customer must not want to lose the other party. An hour later than the usual delivery time, Li Xian also received all the goods, and it seems that he was able to withdraw these 3 dishes on time at noon. Li Xian is happy, and so is the boss, who personally delivered to Li Xian. Although Li Xian has ordered a lot of ingredients, after all, the business is there, but it can only be regarded as a big customer. This time, both the price and the quantity of the ingredients ordered have more than doubled compared to the previous ones. Of course, such a large customer must be maintained, so today the boss decided to come over and deliver dishes to Li Xian himself. Of course, you think you are making money, but I will never lose. Then, Boss Kongsheng, I'll be busy first. When I have time later, I'll treat you to dinner. Thank you for the tea you sent today. Carrying a beautifully packaged tea tin, Li Xian said to Yasuo Kuji. This is Li Xian's longtime owner of an ingredient supplier. Today, I came here to deliver food to him in person. Knowing that he is from the East, I also specially sent a can of green tea that I treasured. After all, most people from the East like to drink tea. Okay, Boss Xian, your business is booming and booming, I won't bother you now. Jiuji Kongxing said goodbye to Li Xian with a smile. He got up to the delivery van and left in a hurry. Of course, it was his employees who drove the car, so it wasn't his turn to carry the ingredients and drop the price. Let's start. As soon as Li Xian entered the door, he saw Tadakoro Megumi's eager look, so he put the teapot in his hand and walked into the kitchen. After a long time of practice, Li Xian can use knives like kitchen knives very smoothly, such as swinging his arms. As long as the washed potatoes are rotated in his hand, the skin will be completely removed from his hand. Cut into pieces and put them in a steamer that has been boiled over high heat, steam until soft, diced mushrooms, diced onions, stir fry, and then add to the steamed and pressed mashed potatoes. Wrap the bacon and put it in the oven to bake. It turned out to be bacon, potatoes, mushrooms, onions instead. Seeing a series of ingredients used by Li Xian, Tadakoro Megumi suddenly realized that he was still thinking about how to make other ingredients into the taste of meat. After all, this imitation means that it is definitely not made of meat. Looking at Tadakoro Megumi's expression after eating the fake crispy grilled meat, Li Xian's expression is a little strange. When did his own dishes have this effect? Ignore Li Xian's nonsense here. Eat Tadakoro Megumi. That Li Xian cooks counterfeit crispy grilled meat, it's one bite after another. Even if the fake crispy grilled meat just came out of the oven, I can't help but keep breathing there. I have to say that this fake crispy barbecue really makes people feel satisfied. It has the aroma of meat, the satisfaction of starch, the taste of mushrooms and onions, which makes people eat such a dish when they are hungry. Which is undoubtedly an excellent enjoyment. After I was full, Li Xian stopped drinking hot cocoa today, and he was tired of drinking it every day. Just today, Kuji Kongxing gave him a tin of tea and took out the tea set he bought when he was shopping before. Everyone has a tea set in their home. Grumpy. When the water is boiled, pour the hot water into the teapot from a height, let the boiling water stir the tea leaves, and the aroma of the tea will be easier to play. In the continuous tumbling of the boiling water, the tea leaves, which were originally dry and curled up, absorbed enough water and stretched out their body completely. Pour a cup of brewed tea for both Tadakoro Megumi and myself, and just sit quietly, which is also a kind of enjoyment. Anyway, it's still a while before everyone comes over for lunch. It's rare to be at ease, so this is what I've been talking about for half a day. Sip a sip of tea gently, let the bitterness and fragrance of the tea flow in the mouth, and after the tea soup is eaten, the mouth becomes a little sweet. The feeling of bitterness and sweetness is also why many people like to drink tea. Perhaps the guests didn't want to break Li Xian's quietness, so they all slowed down a little bit. Today, the guests came a little slower than before, which gave Li Xian and Tadakoro Megumi a rare moment for themselves. Fake. That cup of tea seemed to flow not only through their stomachs, but even through their hearts, taking away all the impetuousness and fatigue of this period. However, the front was relieved, but there were 3 new dishes that suddenly appeared without any expectation. Then of course it would be a lot busy later, and time passed quietly in the busyness. Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.